Hello and welcome to the Central Nervous System podcast, where everything is nerdy like us. I'm John. I'm joined here today by Tyler.
Hello again.
And that's it. It's just us two again. But
yeah,
it should be fun. It's going to be a fun battle. It's going to be fun. Battle of wits.
Battling?
It's going to be a battle of wits as we duel in the...
We started out with an opening improv story.
Mm-hmm.
I
am...
Really...
Cool.
Wow. All right, that's it. That's our
let's get to the actual conference itself. Today we're talking about the Nintendo conference, which aired earlier today. We just finished watching it, and we just did a Sony podcast, but we're going to do a Nintendo podcast as well.
If you want to call it a conference, though, I mean, like last year, Nintendo decided to back out of E3 completely and do their own Nintendo Directs. Mm-hmm. Which I actually really enjoy. They get to do more editing, and it makes it easier on the translation because they don't have to do. They don't have to have a translator live.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. So it's very interesting. Before we talk about the actual conference itself, I want to talk about the stuff that happened before the conference. Mainly the Nintendo World Championships, because they announced in their E3 video that they were going to have the Nintendo World Championships 2015. The first time they did so since 1990, I believe. And they had a group of invitees, including YouTube celebrities and speedrunners, like the Mexican speedrunner. Aaron from Game Grumps was there. He was in the tournament.
Really?
Yeah, he was in the tournament. He sucked, but he did. He
What
made a couple rounds.
Play?
Well, they played a bunch of games. They played Splatoon. They played the original Legend of Zelda. They played what was it? They played Metroid Blast Ball, which was the new game they announced during the conference itself. But they showed it off first over there, and I believe it all culminated in Mario Maker at the very end. They also played Mario Kart 8 and what was it? Balloon Battle. From the old NES.
Oh, yeah.
So, they had a big tournament. They also included people that, qualified their way in. So, the final round was between two people, Cosmo and John Numbers. They played Mario Maker, and, they had two of the Treehouse personnel. They made some levels. They made 4 levels. The first 3 determined how much of a early advantage you got for the last round. And then the last round is what decided it all. John Numbers, who's a Smash Brothers player. Oh, yeah, I forgot they played Smash Brothers in this, too. Of course, it was one of the...
They did everything.
Yeah, they basically did everything. John Numbers, who's a Smash player by trade, ended up winning by a pretty hefty margin. Cosmo really struggled with the Mario Maker controls. He wasn't that intuitive with, Mario Maker. But John Numbers did a really good job. He ended up winning the tournament, so congratulations to him. I thought... my opinions on the Nintendo World Championships, I know you didn't see them. The idea of doing it is really fun. I really enjoyed watching him navigate the games and whatnot. It's just that I don't think the setup and the overlays were very user-friendly. You had a hard time knowing which player was which. And they didn't really interview any players, so you didn't really get to hear much about who they are or why you should care. Unless you knew them already. So, I mean, that's something they could improve for next year. Make it more about, talk about the people in the competition.
Yeah.
So, the other thing that they talked about before conference was Earthbound Beginnings. They're bringing it over. The old Earthbound game is going to be official English translation. I think that's pretty good. I know there's been a lot of people who love Earthbound. And they have to, sell for, translations and.
Well, you're talking to someone that's never really gotten big into Earthbound itself. I know it's a very critically, it's a very good, well-known game from back in the day.
It's a game I would be interested in.
Yeah, it's a game that's very expensive to buy.
Yeah, that's why I don't have it yet.
Yeah, I remember it was if you want to buy Earthbound the original. It's like $200. It's like $200 if you go to any used game store. That's usually with the box though. It's around $200. So it's a really pricey old game. So because I don't know, it's just
I think this is good because it'll make it more available to people so they could give it a try and experience this very revolutionary JRPG.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, is that a lot of people don't know, like myself, don't know how good the game is due to the fact of the price. So it's definitely a cool idea from them. It's kind of a long time coming, I guess. And it's exciting.
So let's get into the meat of the conference itself. So they started off with that cool puppet intro. And they had that be the running theme throughout.
You mean the puppet intro that was throughout the entire Nintendo Direct?
Mm-hmm.
It's, hey, we're doing the next game.
Yep. I at the beginning there, they started turning into the Star Fox characters, and they announced Star Fox Zero.
Yeah.
So what do you think about it? Because I know you're more in tune with Nintendo and the franchises thereof. So
yes.
Given what you saw of Star Fox Zero, what do you think?
All right, this is my opinion on Star Fox Zero. It's definitely not a 0 in my scale. Add another 1 onto it. Basically, I played the original one, the last one they made, obviously. The last Star Fox game they made was for the GameCube, which was not like a Star Fox game. But Star Fox 64, I love that game. It's quick, it's fun, it's intense. Do a barrel roll, have some fun, beat some bosses. Different ways to get to the end, get to the final boss. It's very hard. It's a very difficult game. Especially when you're younger. But the fact of how they're using the gamepad, I think that's what's really good. They need to emphasize that the gamepad can be used for more things. The fact that you can play it both ways. You can play it through cockpit view, which is on the pad itself, or you can play it through the normal version of third person on your TV. I think that's really, really cool. I feel like the scenery is really, really nice based off the visuals that they have so far. I'm assuming because I've used the Wii U's gyro, and it's really smooth, so it could be really good trying to shoot things and stuff like that. From my opinion, I mean, Star Fox has never been a very complicated game, so it's just a straight up, genuine, fun Nintendo game. And as long as they keep that same vibe, I mean, of course the trailer's going to show you shooting stuff, blah, blah, blah. But as long as they keep that same simple vibe, I feel like the fans will still really love it. But the fact that they're adding a little more is good. They're innovating, using their parts, using their equipment they have with the Wii U. The Wii U's starting to got a big boost from Mario Kart 8 and big boost from Smash Bros. And a big boost from, now Splatoon is getting a lot of hype. It's Wii U is starting to get a little more of an image, and people are starting to like the Wii U a little bit. So now that they can use the hardware, they could take the risk and use their hardware a little more. So it's exciting for me. I'm going to buy it. It's guaranteed I'm going to buy the game. I don't know. I think they said holiday.
Yeah, it's coming out this year, holiday. So
yeah, so
it's a pretty close release for it.
Yeah, but that was their big one.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I wasn't blown away by it. I mean, I like the mechanics of it, but I think graphically it looks a little too old to me.
Graphically, it's simple.
Yeah, very simple graphically. I mean, I'm not saying that doesn't make that makes it bad, because I do play a lot of low poly and low pixel games.
Well, that's the thing, is that's the drive behind Star Fox. It's not supposed to be graphically amazing. It's supposed to be fun. That's why that's what Nintendo's for. Is it's always been more fun. But this, it's a game that should be really graphically awesome, because you're. I mean,
because with Mario Kart, seeing that how they took their kart racing game, they made that look really, really nice. I was expecting a little bit more out of Star Fox, considering it's a space game and planes and shooting. I was expecting to look really, really nice, which I was a little disappointed in. But if they can make it work with those graphics, it's no problem. I know there's another game that was during the Microsoft conference called Ashen that's done with really low poly PlayStation 1-esque graphics.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. The thing about what Nintendo does is that, I mean, Mario Kart 8 is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's probably the best looking Nintendo game I've ever seen, as far as graphically. Because it's in HD with the Wii U and everything, but they're known for making graphics that look really good, smooth. They're smooth graphics. They're very kid friendly graphics. But I think Star Fox is still keeping that image. It's like they're not bold. They're just smooth and very gentle. Like that's probably the best way I can describe Nintendo graphics. They're not like too overwhelming, because it's more based off on the game, not the graphics. That's what Nintendo always focuses on. It's the game, not the graphics, which is why I love Nintendo. Yeah, I love graphics, but it's about how fun the game is, and that's kind of the main drive. Maybe that's why they didn't focus too much on the graphics. Maybe the gameplay is awesome. Maybe they made the game challenging. You don't know. They didn't show enough to show that. You don't know until you play it. So it's one of those games where it's Star Fox. You know what you're getting into. There's nothing different. It's Star Fox. It's newer Star Fox, and it's really just, did they do a good job or not? That's what it comes down to. So.
Yeah. So that is something we're going to look out for, and I know Tyler's excited for it. So we'll have to see what Star Fox Zero can do, if it can bring the series back. So the next thing they talked about very brief. They mentioned Codename NS. All they said about it is that they're going to talk more about it at E3 2016. So there really isn't much detail here for that. It's just, they said, we're going to mention it more in 2016.
Well, yeah, this is their new direction that's going to be, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be their new hardware, right?
I believe so. I believe this is what the idea of the next Nintendo system.
Yeah, this is the people have been talking about, rumoring about, is that Nintendo might start to break away from their kid-friendly roots, and I think that's what this is going to be. They used to be the forefront of the graphic industry, and they were the number one thing for both graphics, games, everything. Now, as PlayStation and Xbox take over, and Nintendo has become more like, they still have really good titles, and we talk about it enough. It's like they're simplified. They have their identity. That's what they are, and that's what they stay to. But I feel like they want to get to a bigger market, and the only way they're going to do that is to go back to their roots and make games that really compete with they have to open their options out. Mm-hmm. They have to bring in more developers besides Nintendo. They need to bring in other developers. Like, that's why the newer consoles are doing so well, because they have such more variety, in my opinion. I mean, you have the same universe of Nintendo. You have the games are really fun, but they're the same games. Just, you know what I mean?
And the issue with the Nintendo systems is because since they've been doing a lot of experimenting with new hardware mechanics and whatnot, it's difficult for indie developers to get in on that because they're not sure how these work. Whereas, if you have a PC game, an Xbox game, a Sony game, they all work the same. They could just say, all right, well, we'll just port it to those three because it's easy to make an indie game for those.
Exactly. But then you have, for example, indie titles can be great on the Nintendo, like the Wii U. For example, Shovel Knight. Mm-hmm. Shovel Knight, they figured out the hardware. It's phenomenal. I mean, it boosted the heck, and it did great on the Wii U. And it shows that independent developers can do stuff with Nintendo, and that's how it used to be. That was the roots of Nintendo. There were so many different games, not the same game. Now it's like we have our stuff. It's really good, but that's all we have. That's what it feels like.
More Mario, more Zelda, more their franchises.
Yeah, they are a franchise company. Yeah, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they are, what they make is good. They put out good stuff. That's what Nintendo's good at. They work their asses off to make great games. And I mean, I finally have a Wii U in my possession, and I finally have Mario Kart 8. I finally have Super Mario World, and they're really good games. They're really fun. Mm-hmm. And so I mean, a general consensus is that direction that they're heading is unknown.
We'll have to see what they'll do with Codename NSFW.
Yes.
This Nintendo is not safe for work. So after that, they talked about new Amiibo stuff, crossovers they're doing with Skylanders.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So they showed the thing. They made a Donkey Kong and a Bowser one They can be used as both Skylanders and Amiibos. They also have little vehicle things they do that cooperate with, the Skylander Supercharger stuff. I just want to know if you're excited about this, because I'm personally am not really excited about Amiibos.
I like Amiibos. I don't like them crossing over with Skylanders very much, but I do like Amiibos for what it is. Like, my brother has about 6 Amiibos now, and he uses them. I mean, if he was with us right now in the podcast,
Rest his soul.
No,
he's very much alive.
Yes, but if he was here, he'd talk enough about Amiibos, because I mean, you could do some cool things with Amiibos. I mean, you like for example, Smash Bros. They have a level, and they become an AI, but their unique skin only goes to their Amiibo. So you plug in the Amiibo, and you're fighting against the level. The higher the level, the harder the Amiibo is to fight. So you could have your own 4-person match or 8-person match in this new Smash Bros. Of all Amiibos. So you're never really bored. You know, if you don't have friends around, you're like, well, I got my Amiibos. But it's a cool thing, especially kids. I mean, it's both a thing used for the games, and it's a cool little model. I mean,
it's a cool little toy.
Yeah, it's not just to let the kid put it in its mouth. But it's not like it's a bad idea. I mean, it's cool. I don't think they're
bad. They just this style of gameplay has been something that never really appealed to me. I mean, granted, I'm a full-grown adult, but
well, of course, I don't like it. Again, I don't like what they're doing with Skylanders. I don't think.
I will say, at the very least, it's something you could use for both. There's a thing on the bottom that can switch between Amiibo and Skylander, so it's not like you have to buy 2 figures if you wanted to play both.
Well, yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Well, I'm not I'm not super excited. I'm not really big into the Amiibos. Well, I've had a Wii U for only a little bit, so I haven't really had a reason to buy them. But again, if someone were to buy it for me as a gift, I wouldn't be disappointed. I'd be excited. I just wouldn't go out there and buy them myself.
There's one thing that Amiibos can do that excites me that they mentioned later in this thing, but it's just like a minor thing, and I feel it should be just a feature in the game anyways. But we'll get to that when we get to it. How about we move on now to 2 Zelda titles, but unfortunately they're not the one we're looking for.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So they put out Zelda Triforce Heroes and Hyrule Warriors Legends.
Yes. Hyrule Warriors Legends is just basically a 3DS version of Hyrule Warriors. That's it.
But you get the Wind Waker characters too.
You get more characters. And yeah, that's really awesome. That's cool. Again, I think this E3 was more pushing towards than 3DS. Last year was more Wii U. This year is more 3DS. They got a lot of games for 3DS this year. A lot of them I was really excited for. But I lost. My brain died for a second there.
Talking about Hyrule Warriors Legends.
No, I got it good. No, the Zelda one with the whatever it's called, Triforce Heroes, or what is it called?
Triforce Heroes.
Yeah, I think it's really unique. It reminds me a lot of Four Swords. I don't know if you've ever heard of.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a mix between Four Swords and what was that one you were playing? Link. The one where you can go like into...
Phantom Hourglass. Phantom Hourglass?
It might have been that one, yeah.
The one for the DS? Yeah, Phantom Hourglass.
Yeah.
It's got that same idea. They're using the stylus to use a lot of things. But I like the fact that you can play online and play with other people to create... you can complete puzzles and stuff like that. So...
Yeah, I think that it's a really interesting concept. It was funny when they were talking about this. We were originally going to make this 4-player, but the 4-player tower was too tall. So we just dropped a player from it.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks good. It's just that we were all hoping that was going to be more on the new Zelda title that they did the trailer for last year.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They already announced before the E3 that they weren't going to show anything about Zelda. And people were still hoping they'd show something. They didn't even talk about it, They just nothing. And I think the thing is that they really want to make this Zelda really good, and they don't want to rush it. and I think that's what this is the right position they're doing, because I think this is going to be the last big Zelda for a little bit. It's been a good amount of time since they've had a Zelda game, if you think about it.
Yeah.
So they've been really working hard on this game, I'm pretty sure, and they're really trying to make it good, because Skyward Sword wasn't bad, but it wasn't the best. You know, it was a lot of people. Some people really liked it. Some people didn't like it. I mean, I can go on about that, but they really want to probably go back to the roots, and that's what they say. It's a really open world experience. I mean, that's what they're trying to go for, and that's what's going on. If you can get that open world niche, because that's what's going on. Open world is the biggest thing now for gaming, and that's what's really really driving people. It's like, oh, that's open world, awesome. And
I could do anything.
I think a big motivator of that is probably Minecraft. I think, probably started that trend, most definitely.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, Grand Theft Auto, I think, really started with, like, you know, a world you can explore at your own pace. But I think Minecraft really made the thing, like, yeah, if you want to have a good game, you got to make sure you can explore it a bit and do stuff like Minecraft.
Well, yeah, you want to be able to enjoy the world that you're playing in. That's basically what it is, but it makes games harder to make. Mm-hmm. When you choose a linear path, games can be made faster. But when you have open world, it's like it's harder to control. Because if it's too open world, then it's not challenging. It's just more like la la la. Oh, la, la, la. So open world's very risky, but yet it can be very successful.
I want to say two things about this. One, Hyrule Warriors Legends just said, so you know, it's going to come out first quarter 2016, so it's still a little bit away, but you can get your action there. Two, the funny thing about Zelda Triforce Heroes is that it said that a lot of its mechanics are fashion-based.
Yeah,
I can't put it down, because we said the same thing about Spirit Tracks when that happened, but it's not bad. But the funny thing was, you know how there's that joke that people who aren't into video games will call Link Zelda? One of the costumes is the Zelda dress for Link. So that's just going to confuse everyone.
That's funny.
I know,
that's really funny.
They just showed it like a brief flash, but I saw that, I'm like, I see what you did there. So yeah, it's going to be fabulous. That game.
Apparently they affect your abilities in the game too, depending on the costume.
Yeah, some of those costumes look pretty good though. I'm not gonna trash on it because it's fashion themed. I think a lot of it looks good. I just kind of want to see what it will entail in game itself.
Well, that's the thing is now that I have a Wii U and I have my 3DS now and stuff like that, I feel like Nintendo's gonna suck all the money out of me dry. all these little games, they just add up, and it's just like, oh,
he's in the poorhouse.
Can't
he's
play
got
them all
electricity
at
and a Wii.
Yeah.
So the next thing, I'm only going to talk about this quickly because they honestly didn't show much, and I don't think people were anticipating this or really excited for this. Metroid Prime Federation Force and Metroid Blast Ball.
It's kind of a cool game for the 3DS fans that want to get involved with more of like a multiplayer setting. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what it is. It's more of a multiplayer game.
Yeah, I mean they showed it off at the Nintendo World Championships, and it was okay. It wasn't like the highlight game of the evening, but
yeah, and it's again 3DS games they're not big games. I mean, Fire Emblem's big. That's going to be big. We'll talk about that later. But I think those games are they're filler. You know, this is the filler year for Nintendo because they got a lot of big titles coming out next year. A lot of big ones. I mean, they have the big one this year for Star Fox, and they got a couple other ones. But the 3DS games are kind of like their go-to filler games. Cause it's like, oh, we got all these things, and the people like 3DS games, so let's make a bunch of little ones. So they're more of their smaller projects. So the Metroid one, everyone. I mean, I'm surprised they haven't made a new Metroid for the Wii U.
Yeah, when I first saw Metroid there, I thought it was going to be a new Metroid game, and I got sadly disappointed. But
yeah, I love the one for the Wii. I love the one for the GameCube. I've loved Metroid games. They're very hard. Their puzzle solving skills, the shooting element, very good combination of both in the newer Metroids. And they could do so much stuff with the hardware on the Wii U. I mean, they could do a lot of things using the gamepad for Metroid. And I'm surprised they haven't really. I mean, they might be working on it. Who knows? That might be for next year. I don't know. It's a long year. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Though I don't think Metroid Prime, Federation Force, and Blast Ball are going to be like big things that people are going to care about too much.
No, again, like I said, it's filler. So it could be a fun little game people like, but it won't be memorable. It won't. It's just a game that's good. It's fun, it's quick. That will keep people on their toes a little bit.
So the next thing we were talking about briefly when we were mentioning Metroid, the Fire Emblem Fates game. They showed the trailer for that. It's going to come out in 2016. Yes. I want to say that was a beautiful trailer.
Well, that's the cinematics in the game. That's how the game.
Really solid cell shading on those characters. Sometimes cell shaded characters can be a hit or miss. This really hit it out of the ballpark. Environments were beautiful. Sometimes I give anime style kind of a bad rap, being a dumb Westerner. But I think it really worked well in this trailer. Unlike the next trailer I'll mention in a bit, but I don't play Fire Emblem, but this has got me a little bit intrigued.
Well, this is the thing about Fire Emblem is that I love I will put the one for the one before this was very, very good. This is the one thing I'm surprised that Nintendo hasn't done. They've always had Fire Emblem. It's been strictly portable. It's always been on their Game Boys and their 3DS and the DS. That's what it's always been on. But it's never been on a console. So I'm surprised they didn't do it for the Wii U. If they put it on the Wii U, imagine just the tactical setting. I'm like, how the game works, right?
Yeah.
You have your own, you have the battlefield, and you have the tiles. Imagine that on your gamepad. Mm-hmm. And imagine when you make the moves, then the big cinematic fights are on the TV. So you do your battle strategy on this, and then the cinematics on the TV.
Oh,
that's why
nice.
I'm like, why? Yeah, like from a fan of the series, I would freaking love it. I mean, yeah,
maybe they'll do a double release.
Well, I mean, they would have probably announced that because it's coming out this year. Or no,
it's coming out next year. So maybe E3 they're like, surprise, it's gonna be on Wii U too. We figured it out.
Well, yeah, maybe it's not like it's gonna be difficult to do. Mm-hmm. I mean, they already do a split screen method with the 3DS. So, as a Fire Emblem fan, if they did that, I probably would buy it on opening day. I'd freak out because that series I love it. It's so much fun. It's very challenging, especially I don't know if you know about this, but old school Fire Emblem, the characters you have when they die, they're dead. So you have your party that you gather as you play, but once it's dead, it's dead. You don't have them anymore.
Kind of reminds me of XCOM in a way.
Yeah. But you can change it to that setting now. It's not like that it used to be you had to play that way. Now you can just have your party grow and grow and grow, and you can choose whoever you want. Which I like the fact there's an option because it's very challenging for the casual gamer to try and beat it with the one party. I mean, my brother tried to he was going to play that way and he tried it and he's like, wow, this is really hard, and then he just switched to the other version. Mm-hmm. But no, I am excited. It has a great story. Beautiful cinematics, nice gameplay. It's just an overall good game. So,
yeah, I'm excited for it, and I thought they had a really good trailer. So the next game, the next game's kind of an odd one to talk about because it's an Atlas game, but I have no idea what it's called because the entire trailer is in Japanese. No idea what it's called. They did like this big trailer and they showed like the characters and whatnot, but I have no idea what this game is about. I thought it was like Hatsune Miku program because they were a lot of singing in it. But I have no clue. I have no idea what this game is about. It just looks like a bunch of anime to me as a dumb Westerner. It's going to come out in 2016, whatever it is, so...
I'm excited for it.
The only English words I was able to get out of that was Mirage Master, but I'm not sure if that was the title of the game or if they just for some reason wrote that down somewhere. Because it wasn't on like a big, introductory screen.
Master of Illusion.
So I don't know. No idea what this is.
Surprise!
There's a couple other games like that I saw that I don't know what they are. They're Japanese. They don't have an English trailer. And just the gameplay seems completely random. So I don't know what it...
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what this game is about. Because they were singing.
True.
There was dating sim scenarios of two people in a diner. There was people doing having these costume transformations and then fighting in action scenes. I don't know.
Hell, maybe it's just a teaser trailer and they just didn't want to tell you what it was. Because maybe they're afraid. Maybe they don't know they're going to finish it. So they don't want to tell you the title.
How should they not have finished it? It's just everything, every game ever combined into one, apparently, based on the trailer.
Yeah, so let's see. I mean, are we excited? I don't know.
So, there was that. Xenoblade Chronicles X, they put out a trailer.
Yeah.
It has a release date of 12/4/15. I don't really know much about this series, so if you know a little bit more, you can tell them about it.
It's kind of a... It's different. It's a more of a moving... Wow, my brain just died. I'm trying to give you... It's basically a lot like Final Fantasy, but with real time. That's probably the best example I can give you.
It's like a real-time RPG.
It's a real-time RPG, a little bit. At least from my knowledge. I've never played one of them before, just from what I've seen. And it's been a game that it was made... Because there was the older series that they used to have, and I never played it, but it was really well received, and people have been asking for newer ones, and finally decided to do it. I mean, they have the characters in Super Smash Smash Bros. So it's a game that I'm hoping to see more on.
Don't call it a moron.
I was waiting for it. That's why I gave you the pause. I was waiting for it. But no, if it comes out this December, well then, hell, they gotta show me more before I want to buy it, because I haven't seen enough to really make me want to jump out and get it. So it's a game. Hopefully it's got more to offer to me.
It's a game, hopefully.
It's a game, hopefully, maybe, yeah.
All right, so the next two things...
It's definitely one of the bigger hyped ones.
Yeah, so the next two things are two Animal Crossing titles that are coming out. The first one was more of a standard Animal Cross game, Animal Cross Happy Home Designer, which...
yeah, you become you just decorate for the people.
Yeah, you work for Tom Nook, though when do you not work for Tom Nook, technically? And you design houses for people, and it seems like you get good customization of like where the house is, how to make their lawn look.
You know what the game is basically? It's basically Animal Crossing without the grind. So basically, you get to have fun building with any customizable thing you want without having to worry about money.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. You get to make the town how you want it to look, without having to do anything to get money. So it's cool.
It kind of reminds me of My Sims as well. But they also showed something with this, like, I think they're going to be making Animal Cross Amiibos. Because the next thing is Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, which is basically a Mario Party clone. But you can use
I saw
Amiibos of Isabelle, KK Slider, Tom Nook, and Mabel, I think is the name of the porcupine. Am I correct?
Yeah, I think so. And I don't... Is there mini games? I couldn't really get the vibe. It was just showing little clips.
Like, it didn't hype me, though.
Yeah.
It was just like, yeah, this is basically a Mario Party.
Yeah, first I'm like, this is cool, and then it didn't really show me anything fun. I just saw them.
They didn't show me fun. They all just, kind of got along and had, like, they're like, oh, look who I ran into today. So.
Yeah, I think it's more of an experience. I don't really think it's too much of a game.
Well, it's a board game. There's rankings, so I hope there's mini games. There has to be mini games in it. If there isn't mini games in it, then that's going to be a horrible game.
Well, yeah, that's so. I don't know.
And also, you have to have the Amiibos to play it. Because it's called Amiibo Festival. So
I feel like you need to. I feel like it's a game strictly for Amiibos, which they need to do that, or else no one else will buy Amiibos.
Yeah. I mean, the Amiibos look nice themselves, so I don't know.
Well, yeah, but if they have a game strictly for the Amiibos, it will give people more of a drive, I guess.
But I will say, Animal Crossing ones here, though normally they kind of give me like that, oh, okay. I was a little underwhelmed.
Yeah.
Happy Home Designer looks okay, but...
The Home Decorator one was pretty cool. But the other one was a little off. I mean, I'm surprised they rushed a new Animal Crossing title. Usually they wait. And they were like, nah, screw it. New Leaf did well, so let's just do more side projects.
Yeah.
That's what I call them. They're just little side projects.
So the next thing that came out, they did a thing on Yoshi's Woolly World. It's going to be a 2-player. one thing that they've been doing is they've been adding more Amiibo integration, and what you can do here is that if you put an Amiibo in, it'll change the way Yoshi looks. So Yoshi will have like a Mario mustache and costume if you put in the Mario one.
Which the Mario looked creepy.
It looked terrifying, yes, because it's a dinosaur, but not a Mario. But it was pretty terrifying.
It's like Yoshi just like killed Mario
wore its skin.
Used its skin. Yeah.
Man, what an adorable game of murder.
I'm actually really excited because Yoshi's my favorite character.
Yeah.
And there really hasn't been a lot of Yoshi games. I used to love Yoshi's Island. I love that series. And basically this is that, but with the whole wool design, which I think artistically is just awesome. I think it looks so cool. Really genius how it just looks a lot of fun.
Did you see the trailer for Unravel?
No.
Okay, so that's the other Yarn game that came out. It came out during the Microsoft, or was it No, it came out during the EA conference. And it's a game where you play as a Yarn creature, but like you're going through a real world, and like you're using a physics engine with the Yarn to like swing across obstacles and whatnot. In my opinion, I think that looks better than Yoshi's Woolly World, but I do like the art style of Yoshi's Woolly World a lot.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. If you've ever seen the original Yoshi's Island, it was ahead of its time graphically, and then this is more of unique. And I think it just looks really cool. It's definitely different out of the box. It's a platformer, and it looks cool. So I like platformers. So I love Yoshi. It's more of a go-to for me.
Interview with the creator was also pretty nice. She was talking about how she knitted like a Yoshi knitting animal thing, and a lot of people liked it, and they kind of based the game off that kind of concept, and it was cute. It looks really cute.
I think that's why I like it. So
this next game, though, I think is really lame. It's Yokai Watch. What do you think about it?
My brother probably would love it. It reminds me of that game Ni no Kuni. Have you ever heard of Ni no Kuni?
Yeah, I was gonna mention that earlier when we were talking about non-turn-based RPG, but.
Yeah, my brother loves Ni no Kuni. He loved that game. And
it looks like a mix between that and Pokemon Yokai Watch.
It is, and I think it's really, really cool. Honestly, I think it's cool, but I think it's too out of the box. And again, it is a mixture of Pokemon, but I think it's too out there.
I completely disagree with you. I think it's too boring and predictable and stale because it's just Pokemon with different things. That's all it looks like to me.
Well, no, I'm saying is that
it doesn't look interesting.
Not interesting. It's more like by out of the box. I meant it was more really like you shouldn't have done that. Like it's more like it was a really big risk, and it's a game that might be okay. I didn't really think it looked that good, honestly. I just more like that looks different.
Like I looked at this like if they said, "Oh yeah, we're making a Digimon game that's going to be in the same style of a Pokemon game." Basically, it's going to be like, yeah, this is going to be like Ni no Kuni, but it's going to be in a Pokemon style game. Which, I mean, granted, Pokemon games themselves, are all similar to each other, but at least they have the universe set. They add more creatures to it. This one, it looks like the same thing, only they're trying to use that wheel mechanic instead of like
That was the only thing that was cool to me. That was the only thing that I thought was cool.
And I think they realized that too because they included the wheel in the logo. So.
Yeah.
I do not have high hopes for this. I think this is gonna fall flat.
Most likely. It's a game that it's just not. It was probably too rushed. They're like, oh, that's a cool idea. Let's just make it, and it just didn't turn out.
The kids will buy this up.
Yes.
But yeah, this is probably the only thing during the Nintendo conference or any conference so far where I went boo. I was just like, nah. I was just like, boo. Next. Speaking of next, Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. Was not expecting this. Was not expecting that at all. Really interesting concept.
Mm-hmm. Combining both the Mario and Luigi All-Star or whatever and
Paper Mario,
and using very cool combos with the combining the two character designs and also really cool.
The character reactions to when they saw each other, like when Peach saw Paper Peach, she was kind of like, "Is that me?" And like, what?
Yeah. I think it's a really unique concept, and I feel like it's just I didn't expect it. I don't think anyone did. It looks like it's really far along too, so I don't think they have a release date for it yet. Though that's the thing. Was there a release date?
2016, they just said.
Yeah.
So next year,
so it's
we'll probably get more info
got a lot
next
more to
year.
go, but oh yeah, but it's definitely very promising. One of the more promising things I saw for the 3DS so far, besides Fire Emblem, obviously. But when I first saw it, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I like when I get their reaction when they do these conferences. I mean, when you get that kind of reaction, if it's from a Nintendo fan, you know you release something that's really eye appealing or eye opening and stuff like that. So.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's something that we can be excited for. And also, every time I think of Paper Jam, I'm a Gravity Falls fan, I think of Paper Jam Dipper, and I get terrified.
It's not Papers, Please.
Yeah. Ooh, Papers, Please was a... Well, no, you would be happy if it was Papers, Please. That means it would win awards.
No, I don't want it to be Papers, Please.
Papers, Please was Indie Game of the Year.
So what?
And on some people's
I didn't
countdowns...
like it. Flat out, America. I hated Papers, Please. It's a stupid game. Next.
I would say that's a very, very like unpopular opinion on your part because it's such a interesting game.
I know.
The next topic is something that you like because your simpleton mind you can't handle ingenious concepts like Papers, Please. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash.
Woo! Yeah!
It's coming out holiday season 2015. So
I know.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Christmas, Christmas.
This was so subtle for Nintendo too. They were just like, "Oh, we got the Mario Tennis."
BT Dubs. Mario Tennis.
By the way, yeah.
I thought the mushroom feature, where they get really tall and whatnot, was an interesting feature.
I mean, have you ever played Mario Tennis before?
No.
Yeah, it's a really fun sports game for Nintendo. It's one of the more underrated ones. Kind of like Mario Strikers. I don't know if you ever played that one either.
No, I haven't. I heard of it.
It's one of those underrated sports games from Nintendo, and I'm so happy they're making a sequel because it's well needed. I mean, when that game came out, people loved it. It was really, really good. I'm surprised it's taken them this long to really think about. Oh, we should make a new one.
Well,
I don't know how they're going to do it with.
I think they were more like focusing on their Mario Kart as their primary, party.
Well, yeah.
Party game.
That's something there. But it's definitely really, really cool that they're doing that. I mean, they didn't really show enough on it. I mean,
yeah, I was kind of hoping for more detail.
Yeah, no, this is what I think Nintendo really didn't show a lot of detail this conference. Last year they had a lot. I mean, we'll finish it off with Super Mario Maker, which they just keep emphasizing. It looks so cool.
This is my favorite thing out of the conference for me. I think this is the coolest thing. Just because, seeing it at work in Nintendo World Championships, you need to, when we finish this, you gotta check out the finals for the Nintendo World Championship, because the levels that they made for that were so good. Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how they have an engine where, if they wanted to make a new Mario game, they could just use their own engine.
Yeah.
And just make it in 2 seconds and bust them out. And I feel like a game where what they could do is they're probably going to have the same way Little Big Planet does it, where it's user created, and they probably have the top picks. And I mean, stupid games like Happy Wheels, I mean, user created levels, stuff like that. But imagine with Mario, which is a really addicting, fun game, and I feel like that's why this game's going to do so well. I mean,
I really like the developer interview they did leading up to when they were talking about it, because they showed all the original graph paper drawings they did for the first Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
And they showed their overlays and when they made adjustments in the original concept art. I think that's just so cool looking at all that old stuff. They show how difficult it was to make these levels back in the old days, and now we have the technology where anyone could make their own Mario level.
Yeah, and I feel like this is a very good direction for Nintendo, especially. I mean, if they really could advertise this, I mean, people that like Minecraft are gonna be like, "Ooh, I can use blocks and move around like little kids," but they're gonna be more like, "Wow, I can play Mario, but my own Mario.
People are gonna make I want to be the guy levels for that. That's gonna be the big thing they do. They're gonna make really difficult.
I mean, imagine with your friends.
levels.
Like if you want to do like speedrun contests with your friends, like you make a really hard thing, like kind of how they did in championships, like you said, you make like doing speedruns and stuff. But you like say I made a couple levels and then I had you guys speedrun them all. I think it'd just be really really fun. You could do whatever you want with it. It's just, and you can spend all day making your own level and but you'd rather have your friend play it. And that's the style, that's the feeling that I love about Nintendo, is playing with your friends and connecting in person and stuff like that. And I feel like this is where it's heading. I mean, yes, you could play things online, but in person you could be like, yo, dude, you want to try one of my Mario levels? Oh, yeah, sure.
Damn, son, where'd you find this? So, yeah. They announced two things involving... Oh, wait, continue. Go ahead.
No. I'm just saying definitely. It's just a game that's going to be really, really cool.
So they announced two things about Amiibos with this. One, they're releasing a new 8-bit Mario Amiibo, which looks pretty neat. Kind of looks like a voxel like creation, similar to like Cube World and whatnot. But also they said that you could put Amiibos on the thing and it would change the character sprite to whatever that Amiibo is. So they had they showed off the Wii Fit Trainer sprite. I mean, I wish that I hope that they're like in the game. You don't need the Amiibo for it because that would be kind of lame. I like the idea of you could switch your character sprite just in game itself.
Well, I think that they have the characters, but I feel like it's a unique costume for each character if you can use the certain Amiibos. That's the same thing they did in Brawl. Like if you use Samus and you put Samus the Amiibo on there, it's a blue Samus, not the normal Samus. Mm-hmm. So it's the character's Amiibo, but it's a different color skin. So I think that's probably what they'll do with that as well, the same way they did in Smash Bros. So like you don't need the Amiibo because the character's already in there, but you can make the character look cooler with the Amiibo. That's basically it.
I hope so. 'Cause I think they said like what happens if you hit like a question mark mushroom, it changes the character into the Amiibo one. So it could even be like maybe you preload Amiibos into it, and then you can decide which one it turns into when you hit the mushroom. Because they showed off a couple, like they showed like Link, they showed Isabelle, they showed Wii Fit Trainer, Luigi. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean it's interesting. I that's the thing I'm most excited for out of the Nintendo conference, which is Super Mario Maker. It's coming out 9/11/2015.
I know it's coming right around the corner, and it's definitely gonna be really cool. I'll definitely probably get it. Definitely.
And I will never leave your house.
It's one of those games where you'll never leave my house. Yeah, it's one of those games where you just sit down for a couple hours and it's just fun just screwing around. You can make the most impossible level, but it'd just be really, really fun. I mean, it's a lot like Mario Paint, but like way better.
Yeah. So now that the Nintendo conference is over, what did you think of it? Like, what do you feel about this conference compared to previous years, compared to other conferences?
An overall overview, like the overview of this conference, definitely is that it was okay.
Yeah.
They played it safe. There are a lot of 3DS games, not a lot of Wii U games, which I was very surprised about. I thought they'd show a little more. I mean, they have a lot of good titles on the Wii U right now. A lot of good titles, and they haven't disappointed. Star Fox is definitely a big thing. Mario Maker, that's going to be really, really cool. So there's a lot of potential in that, but I feel like last year's was a lot better. It was a lot funnier. They had a lot more to show off, like Super Smash Bros. And stuff like that. So they had a lot more to offer last year. It was a lot more entertaining. I mean, you remember the funny skits from last year? They were a lot more very, very funny. This year, they were more playing it safe. Showed you what they had. And that was about it.
Yeah, I was a little underwhelmed with the conference this year. I was expecting a little bit more. You had, a lot of disappointing titles to me. Like Yokai Watch, the Metroids, whatever that Atlas game was. All those seemed like pretty underwhelming. The Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival was underwhelming to me. I was upset that there wasn't a new Zelda, main series game. So I just feel like this conference was lacking And I would probably say, of all the conferences so far, this is probably my least favorite, unfortunately. Because even EA had some good stuff in it, even though they had a lot of disappointing sports games. I would probably say it's about on par with that. Maybe a little higher than EA, because, I mean, I liked the concepts in here more of what worked.
Well, that was I listened to a lot of other podcasts, and a lot of them were scared Nintendo didn't have much to offer this year. They got a lot of bigger projects that are down the road, but recently they have a lot of titles coming out this year for the 3DS, not the Wii U, which is fine. I mean, they're really going to appeal to their Japanese fans, because mostly Japanese people just have 3DSs. They don't even have, they're all portable over there. But as a general overview, I would say it's okay. I mean, definitely not like Sony. Definitely not like Sony.
And, I mean, the Nintendo World Championships was fun, but I think they could have handled it better. I think if they do it again next year...
Yeah, but I think it's a really unique thing they're bringing back, and I think it's really, really cool.
Like, I hope that it isn't something like they just did for this year, just because of the 25-year anniversary.
Depends on how many viewers watched it. If they had a lot of people watching it, then they'll probably do it again.
Yeah, I would love to see this again every year, because it's a competition. It's a fun competition that I'm into. I'm not a big esports viewer, but I do enjoy, competition. And I think this was a really fun competition.
And definitely in a different assortment of games. It's a more general challenge, not versus the same game over and over again. It's a bunch of different games, and I think it's really cool.
And I think they handled it really well. They used a lot of the retro games as their elimination rounds, and they used the newer titles as their lock yourself into the next round titles. So it was really good. Definitely. In that sense. It's just that their format, they didn't talk to the players. They didn't really let you know who they were very often, except for occasional overlays. They could have handled this a lot better, but it's a good start for, the first time in, 25 years.
So
that was the Nintendo conference. What did you guys think of it? If you have an opinion on it, let us know in the comments below. We're going to have the timetable of all the topics we talked about in the description, so you can jump to whatever topic you want. Also going to try and link as many trailers as we can. I'm not sure if I can link that Atlas trailer, because I don't know what it's called. But we'll give it a shot.
I know.
So, if you like this... Yeah, you can go ahead.
No, I was just more concluding.
Whatever, man.
Whatever, man.
If you like this video, you can hit up the subscription, and we will hopefully get some more podcasts out in the future. So,
we're on a roll right now.
This is the most podcasts we've done in a while. But, so thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. See ya.